This is the Beyond the Prophy podcast, the podcast that empowers you and inspires you to seek career excellence while pursuing your passion. And I'm your host, Jasmin Haley. Welcome to the Beyond the Prophy podcast. I am very excited for you to hear this interview that I had with Nancy Burkhart, the 2017 Award of Distinction recipient. I felt very honored to have the opportunity to speak with her, to hear about her career, and to take a look at her journey at a more personal level. I love the ability to network, build relationships, as well as hear how other hygienists are living a fulfilling career. I am an introvert. It's not very easy for me to be in situations where I'm forced to meet new individuals, which may show me or it may make me look like I'm sort of awkward and weird, and that's okay. I love that there are many individuals who are making a difference in our profession who are introverted and still have something to say. But what I love about Nancy's interview, one of the things that she said that really stood out was the biggest asset you can have is curiosity. For most dental hygienists, we tend to want to have someone to write a step-by-step, steps 1 through 20, this is how you have career satisfaction. You need to do this first, you need to do that, you need to do this, and you need to do that. It's not as clear as you want it. And unfortunately, you have to be okay with taking steps and not seeing 200, 300 feet in front of you. And I've had to learn that because it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing when you're trying to create a satisfying career in dental hygiene, when you're forced to think outside of the box because of some of the limitations that we have clinically. And you're just not sure which route you're going to go. And it's okay to not be sure. And what I love about Nancy's journey was the fact that she maintained that curiosity. She was traveling a lot in her years as a clinical dental hygienist, and yet she continued on filling her mind with more knowledge, taking advantage of opportunities that arise, and taking the initiative, even if she didn't know whether or not someone would believe in what she wants to bring to dental hygiene or contribute to dental hygiene. So I love listening to her journey, and I love the fact that I actually had the opportunity to meet for the first time someone's textbook that I use as an educator. I love the textbook that she has co-written with Lisa. I think it's Lisa DeLonges. I could be wrong with the other contributor, and so I do apologize for that. But in the show notes, you'll see a link to the textbook that she has written, and it's now currently in its third revision. When we were talking at the RDH Under One Roof conference, we didn't have the opportunity. I didn't have an opportunity to see the new revision, but I'll put it in the show notes. But anywho, this is what I love about going to these events, RDH Under One Roof, going to ADHA Annual Conference. You have the ability to have these conversations. Don't worry about bringing your resume. Don't worry about speaking to someone and telling them all your hopes and dreams. Learn about their journey, learn who they are, connect with them on a deeper level, and I guarantee you will find something there to help elevate your career. So listen to this episode. Let me know what you think. I love hearing what she's done. We're on location in Chicago. And if you have certain questions that you want to hear me ask, make sure you do that. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast, leave a review, subscribe to the beyondtheprophy.com website where you will have access to the blog articles that I write that will help you develop that career excellence and be able to have some career satisfaction. So I thank you so much for listening and enjoy this interview. All right, so welcome to another episode. I am here on location. This is Jasmin, and this is for the Think Beyond the Prophy podcast. I'm at the RDH Under One Roof conference, and I am so super excited to be sitting across from my guest here. Why I'm excited? It's because I taught general pathology at the school that I was at full-time for 4 years, and the author of that textbook is sitting across from me. I absolutely love that textbook, by the way. So I would love to welcome Nancy Burkhart, who is also one of the 2017 Award of Distinction recipients. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to do this for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad I ran into you.
I know. And see, Nancy and I have met each other last year. She came to speak for the Maryland Dental Hygienists Association and met virtually first, and then in real life, October of last year. So it was really great to have her a part of our meeting.
Right, and that was a fantastic meeting. Really enjoyed it and enjoyed meeting the people that were there. Yeah. Everybody was super nice.
Yeah, they are. They totally are. So we'll have a brief conversation just to hear a little bit about your journey in dental hygiene. Why did you become a dental hygienist, and a little bit about how you have sought career excellence or thought beyond the prophy in your particular career. So why did you get into dental hygiene?
Well, it's rather interesting. I had a roundabout path getting into dental hygiene. I was actually a dental assistant before I went into hygiene, and I was with public health, U.S. government public health in Charleston, South Carolina, at the federal building. And I met my husband, and we got transferred to Hawaii, which is not a bad thing.
That's nice.
And so while I was there at the public health for a couple of years, and I was also an English major. Started out as an English major, and that's maybe why I ended up writing a column for RDH and the textbook. I'm not sure how all of it evolved, but anyway, my husband got sent to Hawaii, and at that time, they were the Department of the Army. He was actually Navy, but the Department of the Army started a new program called the Dental Therapist Assistant Program.
Wow.
So I tried to use the skills that I had learned as an assistant and become a dental therapist. And it was a little over a year program and very thorough. We were doing all sorts of things. It was more like what I guess the dental therapists do today, minus the anesthesia.
Right.
And but we were actually placing restorations and doing all sorts of things. It was really an interesting program. So then we got transferred again, and so I had to sort of give that up because that wasn't flying very well in the United States, on the mainland, I should say, at that time. And so when we moved again, I tried to, again, transition my skills, and I was looking through brochures and found the dental hygiene program in New Jersey. Ended up getting an associate's degree in dental hygiene and then a bachelor's degree. The ultimate degree came from Fairleigh Dickinson University, which is in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Okay, very cool. I'm from New York.
Oh, okay. And it was a very, very good program. In fact, the instructors that I had there, most people know Phoebe Blitz and Cheryl Westfall. Both of those were my instructors. Very good people, very knowledgeable in dental hygiene, and I think very professional. Yeah. They're very professional. So after that, we got transferred again. And
oh my goodness!
I'll make a long story short because when I started the master's program, I started a master's program in public administration.
Nice.
And public administration, after I got into the program, was very good, and I really liked it, but ended up transferring to an allied health education program. It just wasn't for me, although I got some really good information from that program with the courses that I took. So transferred again, and by the time I finished the master's degree, I'd been at 5 different schools.
Oh, my
goodness.
But
ultimately, I ended up in Raleigh, North Carolina, and finished with occupational therapist degree, health occupations. Yes.
Wow.
continued on, and by that time, because I had transferred to so many schools, I had an abundance of graduate credits.
Yeah.
And it was at the point where I really felt like I needed to do something with those credits, or they were just lost.
Yeah.
So I became a part-time faculty at Chapel Hill at the dental school.
Yes.
And ended up going into another program, which was a doctoral program. And while I was at Chapel Hill, my interest really, I found, was in the clinic, and it was doing, working with patients and kind of zoning in on the pathology.
Yeah.
So I did I finished the doctorate degree.
Yeah.
And did my dissertation on lichen planus, because both of the pathologists that were there were interested in lichen planus. So it just kind of transitioned to me. So they used to send me a lot of times to clinic to take photos of different things that people called in and said, hey, I have this downstairs. Why don't you send somebody down for a photo? Accumulated a lot of images. And again, I didn't want to see the images go to waste.
Yeah.
So I did a postdoctoral fellowship for a year there.
Wow.
And did a lot of, was there every day for readouts, for pathology readouts, and learned so much, and it just made a world of difference in the way that I looked at things, because it was as if I was looking through a microscope at the pathology, but then I also had the image of the patient, usually, and the radiograph in some cases. So it was really just the best of all worlds.
So your education, as you continue to advance, kind of threw you into oral pathology.
Yes.
That's amazing. So you would say in your professional career that advancing your education was pivotal to you thinking beyond the prophy and seeking career excellence.
Yes, as soon as I heard that, I thought that was really appropriate, that you were doing this type of thing beyond the prophy, because I think that, to me, the biggest thing with advancement, the biggest asset for people is curiosity. And if you're curious and you want to learn things and you have an interest in a particular area, it can take you for a long ride. Like I told you with the dissertation topic, and because I was so interested in taking the images, I ended up with the textbook.
Yeah.
So,
how long did it take you to write your first textbook?
It took about, I would say, 3 years.
Were you solicited for it, or did you inquire and say, hey, I have this great idea, I want to be able to create this textbook?
I did. The textbook is through Lippincott, Williams & Wilkins, and I did contact the editor, and my co-author, who is Leslie DeLong.
Yes.
She was doing the same thing. She didn't really have the images, but she had the idea that maybe a general and oral pathology combination would be good. So between the two of us, the editor said, hey, you two need to meet each other and be together.
Yes.
And so then that's when the collaboration started, and so we ended up spending about, I think it was about 3 years when the first edition came out. And we actually, our third edition just is in press.
I saw it
3 days ago. Yeah,
wow.
It was put in press. So that's going to be the latest edition.
That's incredible. That is incredible. Oh my goodness. So I love the fact that you took the initiative to contact the editor, and I feel that I think what people need to understand when it comes to thinking beyond the prophy is that sometimes the opportunities do not fall into your lap. You actually have to create them, and you may hear a no initially, and then a few months later you may ask again, and it may be the right time for you to be able to pursue that opportunity. And I just love the fact that you said that you actually contacted the editor, which is great. And I think if most hygienists, you can find the editor for any of the publications and be able to send to them and get the writing guidelines and be able to put out your own content, which is great.
Oh, that is so true. It's really true. And I think it's just as you said, they may not be interested in it today.
Yes.
But things change so quickly. A month from now, it may be a totally different ballgame. Maybe something has come out in the news. Maybe they're looking for somebody to write something, or a particular type of book.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of the meetings, they will actually send out an email ahead of time looking for people that will speak on certain subjects.
Wow.
And, if maybe you hadn't even thought about that, but you have all kinds of information on a certain topic. And so I think that's really really good, if you pursue it on your own.
Yeah.
And sometimes things just fall into your lap, too, but, you got to be there at the right time, the right place.
and network where people know of you,
Exactly.
And they're able to understand, like, what you're about and what you're most passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is so cool. Like, right now I'm in my 4th semester of grad school, and I'm almost done with my summer semester. I have 2 more before I get my master's degree. I can't imagine writing a textbook, but I won't say no. Because knowing me, I'm like, okay, what's the next challenge? I've done this. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's like everybody told me when I was doing my dissertation, choose something that really interests you, because if it doesn't interest you, it's going to make your life really, really miserable.
Yes.
So, but if you have an interest in it, it's not work. It's that old saying, do what you love. Mm-hmm. And I won't say the money will follow, because I'm not sure in education we can say that.
No.
But you'll stay with it, and your interests will be there.
Absolutely. I took a $20,000 pay cut when I first started teaching, and it was dramatic. But I had the flexibility. I had my summers off because I have 2 little ones. It was perfect. I had excellent benefits, and then I was able to really make a difference and work with students, which is what I was looking for, to really work outside of the op.
Yeah.
So there's some good things.
Sometimes people don't step back, like you just said, and look at the whole picture, and, their priorities and what they really need to be focusing on, or what they want to focus on.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just start down a path and you don't get off.
Right.
And so I think that's really important. I will say, when we were writing the first edition of the book, we were right in the early part of writing, coordinating things. And I did go through the Tony Robbins program.
Oh, really?
Anthony Robbins, yeah. And I went through one that was the Firewalker. And it's a 3-day program, but he actually helps you sort through your life and where you're going and your goals. And I heard so many interesting people. There were thousands of people there, but you would just meet different groups, and everybody was there for the same reason.
Yeah.
They were looking for a change in their life. They were looking for direction.
Right.
Where am I going at this point? I want to step back and evaluate things, look at things. So it was. I think that had a major impact on me, because after I went through that program, I really looked at things a lot differently.
Yeah. How long was the program?
It's just a 3-day seminar.
3 days?
4 days.
All
really.
day. It's an all-day Wow.
Yes. And at the end of that, you go through. You go through and do the fire walks at the end, and it's really a metaphor.
Wow.
Where they build the fire the last day, and you walk through. But it's don't look up, don't look down, don't look back. Just go forward.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's really
because
powerful.
That fire was like symbolic of all the distractions that we deal with. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So my person was Brendon Burchard. Have you ever heard of him?
Yes.
Oh, I read the Motivation Manifesto, and that was like, because I felt like how you just described. I wasn't satisfied with my career. I love dentistry, just in whole. I've wanted to be in dentistry since I was 13. But I wasn't happy. I was just so discontented, and I was just like, what? This is it? And then I read that, and I was like, oh my gosh. I have the ability to change my career and work on something that really moves me.
Right.
And so I have to make that decision to change. I can't change my environment. I can't change anyone else around me. Of course, I'm going to keep my husband and my kids. I don't want that to change. But professionally, I can make some decisions to make whatever changes I need to. And then that's how Think Beyond the Prophy or Beyond the Prophy came into effect. Maybe 6 months after that. 6 or 7 months after that, yeah.
Yeah, it's really powerful that when that happens to you, because you just say, oh, why didn't I think of this before? Why didn't I do this before?
Exactly.
And you just kind of move in a different direction.
Yeah.
And it's good. And healthy, I think for your health, doing what you love and going in the direction that you want is really beneficial for anybody, health-wise.
Yeah. Well,
there's nothing worse than, being in a bad situation or a situation that you want out of every day.
Oh my gosh. I will never do that again. I will never be in a situation where I'm not. And I just came to that resolve because I think about my own children. I think about what example do I want to set for them as women, as soon-to-be women, although they're like 8 going on 25, but, I want them to see that, mommy made the decision. It may not have been it may have not been an easy decision, but she made it, and she's able to be happy in her career, and I want them to know that they can accomplish whatever their heart's desire is.
Right.
So I love the fact that you bring that up. Well, I'd like to keep the episode short because I feel that most of us are really, really busy, and I love having this chat with you and learning a little bit more about you. I feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm sitting across from her, from the textbook creator that I absolutely loved using for my students. But if anyone's interested in contacting you, I know you have a column with RDH magazine.
Right.
And is that monthly that you put out an article?
It's monthly,
okay.
Right. And my email address is on there.
Okay.
I also do the International Oral Lichen Planus Support Group. So if you Google International Oral Lichen Planus Support Group, then it'll take you to our site.
Yes.
And my email is on that for my Baylor location or Texas A&M location.
Okay.
So yeah.
And you just joined a new organization. I don't want you to forget to talk about that really briefly. It's the new one that's now allowing non-DDS membership.
Yes, thanks for mentioning that. I really appreciate it. Last year, I was given a affiliate fellowship with the American Academy of Oral Medicine. I've been a member of that organization since 1997 when I originally joined Baylor. And anyway, they did give me a fellowship, and also I'm sort of in charge of starting this new program for non-DDS, non-MD people that want to join. Just going to the meetings, you learn so much. The people that participate in this are from all over, from other countries. We just have a large segment of people that are dentists, or oral pathologists, oral medicine. And we don't really have that many hygienists. In fact, I may be the only, there are 2 of us, I guess. That's it. But I'm trying to increase the program,
yes,
and would love to have new members that, whether you challenge the exam and become a fellow, that's your choice, but you don't have to. You can just be a member. Mm-hmm. If you attend the meetings, you will learn so much. You will meet so many people that are so gifted in what they do.
Yes.
And if you have any interest at all, in oral cancer, the oral exam, oral pathology, oral medicine, it's phenomenal. And we also, with our new book, our new edition that just came out, we also added a segment in each of the entities within the chapters on, just a few sentences about oral medicine and how that impacts the oral pathology subject matter.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, so we're really excited about it.
I love that. So not only do I support ADHA membership, but going to RDH under one roof, meeting amazing people like yourself, but also joining other organizations so that you're able to expand your mind to more that's out there.
That is so true. And, honestly, I don't think the book would have turned out as well, or maybe not at all, if I hadn't been a member of that organization, because I have made so many friends over the years that have contributed case studies and that I can call on, in a moment's notice, and they will give me such great advice and so much information about a subject.
Yeah.
So there are just all sorts of benefits, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun organization. We have a good time.
Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for being a part of this podcast. I feel really humble and honored to be able to have this conversation with you, and I can't wait to share it. and inspire some hygienists to think beyond the prophy.
Oh, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you, and good luck with your master's degree, too.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.